Good morning, and today I am taking that walnut bow that I set back the handle yesterday, gull wings. This is actually going to be a 5-bend bow, which means it's going to have recurves too. I deflexed the limbs, and you'll see, and I'm currently putting the recurve in the second limb. I already put the recurve in one, gentle. And I've got 2 minutes and 58 seconds left on my timer. I'm steaming the tips only about 13-14 minutes because it's very thin wood and it doesn't take much. This is one of those cases where it would exactly be great if I knew how to edit. So I'm going to be doing it backwards. I'm steaming it. I'm going to shape the tip, and then I'm going to explain what I had to do to make the bow straight, because over the course of 5 curves, when you're bending it, not on a form and clamping down every part of it, over the course of 5 curves, you can really get things out of alignment and make it like a roller coaster. I can adjust it every step of the way. I set the handle, I used my jig, which you will see, trust me, clamped it down, tightened the clamps as the steaming progressed. Then I deflexed the limbs about a third of the way in, like I discussed before, over my knee. And that's actually a more precise type of operation than you would think, because if you steam them an equal amount of time and you're applying the same pressure, that wood really wants to only bend to a certain degree, and then you feel resistance. So that's very easy. I had to steam both of them, both deflex limbs, a second time because it's a natural consequence, pardon my foot, when you're bending it over here to not get them straight. And so I followed it up with a second steaming. I would draw arrows indicating which way I have to jockey it to straighten them, and just steamed them a second time. One of the reasons why I like to have this jig, or the fixture, the bending form on the handle the entire time, is when you're steaming mid-limb, the steam can get towards the handle, and if you don't have it secure, then it can relax and then go back to its original position. Again, after I do this operation, let the tip cool. I'll show you the bow and explain how I fine-tuned the bend. This is what I'm going to use for my tips to recurve them. I'm not doing the entire thing. I'm not going to stick them in here and then clamp it down and get that big of a recurve. This, in effect, is more of an arrow wrench than anything, 30 more seconds. It's important that when you pull something out of steam, you get it bending right away. And this is the quickest way to do it. The tip slides in there and I can get it bending within seconds of yanking it out. Okay, so I'm going to turn the feet off. Step 1. I'm going to turn the fan off for a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. Getting ready. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the timer off. It's still steaming. And that water will continue to steam for a bit. Now I have to plan my approach. Oh, it's like the car keys when you're being chased by a monster. And I'm going to sight this down, straighten it, and twist it. And I can also move the tips laterally while I'm doing this. There we go. And I need to twist it a little bit this way, counterclockwise as I'm looking at it, to get it. And now, it's just a matter of, and believe it or not, when you're steaming, this wood really gets plastic, and so you have a tendency, if you want to straighten it or twist it to get it straight, to do it too much, because it wants to move. Walnut, beautiful wood, very plastic when it gets hot, steamy. Impulses. I hope you checked out that video of that fellow, included the link before, where he did that bighorn sheep and gunpowder. That was amazing. Maybe even And I'm allowed to ramble now because we're waiting for this to cool. Oh, my hand's putting still a little counterclockwise tension. Not much, because it wasn't off that much. If I take this off and I notice that it's not perfect, I can just re-steam it and do it over again. It's not going to hurt the wood to steam it, let it cool, steam it, let it cool. You can fine tune it, because the last thing you want to do is have the string running off center or everything twisted and just out of condition. On this center section, if I wanted to steam it again to get more set, I would just put a block between the handle and my bending form and just re-steam it. If I notice that the handle section is twisted, what I do there is I steam it again, and then I'll call that good. To cure the handle, if it's twisted, I'd steam it again, and then I would do it this way. Oh, you can see this. Blank, and that will get the handle twist out. With the limbs, if I sight down it, you can see this is beautifully straight now. If they went off, I'll draw an arrow on the offending tip. Usually it's both because we do it symmetrically. I bend it like this, I bend it like this, and I always have my handle to my left, so I get like a corkscrew, a symmetrical thing. I'll just re-steam the tips, or the center section, and then just twist it when I do it. So everything is curable. I hope you can see this, because this is a beautiful bend. 5 bend bow, walnut. I could use this as a self bow. I wouldn't necessarily have to even sinew back it, but if you do that, you run the risk of the handle deflex or reflex pulling out, or the slight recurve pulling out. This is beautiful. Hard to see it, how straight it is with that form in the way. I'll actually pop it out. And a sign that you did a good job is that when you take the clamps off, look at that. It follows. And the only reason it did that was I steamed it a second time and put a block there. But there it is. 5 bend, walnut bow. This is going to be so gorgeous. When it's sinew backed and everything is sanded down and polished. Now looking at it, the handle does kick a little bit this way. It's not perfect, but let me get string. I'm just going to put the string in here. This is a good way to check too, to see if it's straight. Center of tip. Center of tip. Center of tip, and you can see that it's center of handle. So it doesn't matter if the handle is cocked a little this way. When you put your handle wrap on it or sand it, you know, get rid of the sharp edges here, you're not even going to notice that it's not perfect, but there it is. What lessons should you take out of this? The first one is, from steam to the bending process, quick. And this is a good way to do it. I have different levels of curves. I have different tip branches. Let's call them tip branches for putting this on. When you're straightening them, you can twist it to get it straight. Just mark with an arrow with a pencil. It'll sand off. Show you which way to do it. These things, not critical. If steam leaks out here when I'm steaming the tips and it relaxes these things, this is such a minor bend. You can correct that easily with just a little heat. Dry heat, you don't even need to steam it again. The handle, until you, there's actually a gap between the form and the handle in the center, so this has a really good bend. Let's judge the amount of, let's just say string follow. It's not string follow because it hasn't been shot yet, but this is perfect. I'm looking across here. It goes into reflex slightly, but the sinew backing is going to pull it into more reflex. This is what I would want, you know, for just a modest bow. I'm not going to go into like West Coast paddle bow style reflex with a wood like walnut. You'd be overstressing it. This is going to be a nice bow, and it's 54 inches. 54 inches. Which means, in walnut, which means that you could get this down to 40 pounds in draw weight if you wanted. It doesn't need to be like a gorilla monster elephant killing Osage and sinew horse bow, you know, that's drawing 80 pounds. This could be a really nice shooting bow for somebody that's of more modest draw weight. And so let's say, if somebody was to say, John, that walnut bow is beautiful, I want it, I would let this go. I would sell this. You know, right now is the kit. You can sinew back it. You don't need to do a beautiful sinew job. I would even include eight tendons. That's not a killer layer, but it's enough for this bow. The bow, 8 tendons, little bag of hide glue, enough to do the sinew backing. And again, don't be afraid. It doesn't need to be a perfect sinew backing job. You could even get by with just one layer through the handle to maintain reflex, and then a nice even-ish layer through the bows, and then just wrap the tips. You can redo the tips. 120 bucks within the continental US. Shipping wouldn't be that much. Let's say $115 shipping included anywhere in the US. And there we go. It's going to be a gorgeous bow. And believe me, a walnut bow, stave made, worked down into the heartwood. This is a stave bow. This isn't a board bow. This is a stave bow, worked down into the heartwood. You know, for 100, what did I say, 15 bucks, including the tendons. You know, that's a good deal. And this is going to be one freaking gorgeous bow. When you finish that walnut, this is going to be dark, and there's different colors of dark purples and browns in the sign. I know I'm stupid to sell it that much. I should keep it for my own bow because it's going to be like a showroom beauty bow, but you know, I'll make more. Thank you very much. And if you are interested in it, jump on it, because usually I'll say, this bow is for sale, and it's gone within an hour. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions about steam bending, just let me know. Let me know. I enjoy answering questions. 8 tendons, the bow, a little bag of hide glue, 115 bucks, shipping included. Have a great day. Oh, and I'll also make up a nice string. It'll probably be one of my bumblebees. It'll be 14. I like, on a short bow like this, the extra weight of the string doesn't affect it. 14 strand B50 with 2 strands of yellow. 12 strands black, 2 strands yellow, and it makes a really attractive string. And it'll have one loop, and then the other end will be tied on, so it'll be easy to string with a permanent loop here. It'll act like a 2-loop string. Now I better get to work because I've got other bows I need to get out, other bows to do. Bowcat says thank you for watching.